Thanks for joining me on another episode of Cigar Conversations. Today we'll be talking to a brother of the leaf that's in a unique business. Have you ever heard of a dump site getting repurposed? Or why would you need to do soil sampling for contamination before constructing a building? Nate never knows who or when someone will call on him for his company's expertise. This one happens to be a government agency and they need him now. In no time, he's ready to meet the client and he's out the door. One of Nate's haven is Davidoff of Geneva, nestled in the heart of Atlanta's version of Rodeo Drive, known as the streets of Buckhead. And that's where we sat down with this brother of the leaf and talked about his unique career. Hey everybody, this is Sean Johnson. Thank you for joining us. We're here on the set of Cigar Conversation, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Nathaniel Hardee.
Good to be here, man. Good to be here.
Echelon Environmental.
Echelon Environmental Enterprise.
There we go. Now, you're in a really interesting field. Tell me a little bit more about your company.
Well, based upon my experiences as far as engineering, my company provides environmental consulting services within the realms of mold, indoor air quality, asbestos investigations, and remedial type consulting services, as well as lead-based paint, which is a passion of mine, as well as other environmental or hazardous material investigation and management programs.
Now, you're not just the owner of the company. You get hands-on. You do everything. You're able to do everything, and I've seen you at work.
Yes.
So you basically come up through the ranks. But before you got into this field, you were getting ready to go left field. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, I like to tell people that this is kind of my backup career. I originally, from the age of 5, watched all the Apollo missions, and from the age of 7, I wanted to be an astronaut.
Mm-hmm.
So, at a young age, life happened. At 12 years old, my little sister, she contracted lead poisoning. And it was a life-changing experiment for me regarding seeing her going through chelation therapy. What chelation therapy is basically is when someone has a high lead blood content, they have to undergo basically, and we're talking back in 1975.
So back then, this was with, I think, with a needle.
Yes, lead forms in the bone marrow. So the way that they have to basically chelate or pull that lead from the bone marrow is to go inside the bone and pull and inject the chelation agent and pull that out. It's kind of like sucking an icy through a straw. You have to first get into the capsule where it lies. And back then, the only way that you can do it is go through the bone. And because you can't use any anesthesia, that's what was told. It's a painful process. And I watched her for 1 week, 8 hours on the hour, have to endure having a needle stuck in her bone without anesthesia.
Without anesthesia.
Yes. So to see your little sister every day for 7 days. So that was life changing for me.
That would make it, and that was your motivation for going into this field.
Yeah. That was my motivation for just changing gears, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I know that I wanted to.
You felt you had to make a difference,
If I could save one child from enduring that event, then I made that my passion.
Ooh.
I really did.
Okay. I'm going to try to make it a lighter note. We started and we went real deep real quickly. So,
Yeah.
but
it brought me to this point.
you know what?
Yeah.
And you're definitely playing your part. I mean, most of the time you go to a job, you don't know who you're helping or who you're saving, but it's the preventative, and that's what you're doing right now.
Right.
Now, around town here in Atlanta, name some of the companies that we've probably seen and don't even know that would have utilized your service, that would, okay, I'm going to put up a building, let me go in and check for this first, or I'm going to renovate a building, let me go in and check for lead paint. Name some of the properties around here we'd probably see.
Worked on properties with, which is now Atlantic Station. That was an interesting project, as well as Westinghouse. And then, of course, you have other public entities that I can't discuss because of non-disclosure agreements in place. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned Atlantic Station, saying that was an interesting project. What makes it so interesting,
Well, it makes it interesting because there was so much contamination on site that you couldn't functionally use the area for usable ground space. So basically, we had to excavate, I would say, in the midst of, you're talking about 5.8 to 6.8 million tons of contaminated soil.
So that's the reason why. Okay, so they dug so deep. So once they got all the contamination out,
Right.
instead of paying to bring dirt in to fill it up, just go ahead and use it for a garage.
Go ahead and use it exactly for a garage. Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's the only, because anything else, you talking about a lot of state, federal, and local city of Atlanta regulations regarding the use of that soil.
I never thought about that.
Or
so
the use of the area.
You're working for a company for 10, 20 years, and the contamination comes up, into the building.
Right.
Because this is living organisms we're talking about.
Yes.
So eventually it'll work its way up.
Right.
And you come to work every day 8 hours, and now in today's world you do 10, 12 hours sometime.
Right.
So, over time, you just never know what's going on. You wonder how. Okay.
Right.
Now, with that being said, I've seen properties. What's the difference between Atlantic Station and, say, Topgolf? Because we're talking about that off camera.
Right. Yeah. Well, with regards to that, you're talking about different type of contaminants. With the area that now occupies Topgolf, you had PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls. We know what that material was, but it was so prevalent in soil that the only thing that you could do with that area is to either cover it all with concrete like Atlantic Station, or define a use for it that you won't contact the soil. Hence the use of Topgolf, where you just basically cover the top, put little 2 feet holes in it, and watch me and thousands of other people come in
and it's strategically set up too, because we as hobbyists, we're not even on the green. We're literally up, sitting up high,
Correct.
just knocking the ball over. The only thing that really goes on it is the guys that drive around with the cart, taking it up. Maybe the lawn guy go cut the grass.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But no contact with the existing soils are used for that purpose.
Now, you mentioned your sister
Yes.
with the lead poisoning. In today's day and age, do we still have lead coming in, say, for example, not just paint, but um, everyday household furniture, the wood, concrete, whatever. I mean,
Yes, I mean,
especially coming out of China.
uh, China is the major contributor to continuing lead contamination and lead content, and possibly other countries, but China is the main offender. The toys that are coming in, they're containing multiple times of acceptable lead in the paint that is made and sold to American consumers.
It's funny. You keep saying acceptable. I hear people say it all the time, acceptable. And you're saying acceptable contaminants. And we have companies like EPA and all these that are supposed to regulate and protect us. They're put in
Correct.
place for that, but it's considered acceptable.
Right.
They have the commercial on TV like, what do you mean acceptable water? Acceptable in what? Would you like some lead in your water?
Well,
And the guy was kind of outraged in the commercial.
Right.
And I was like, it makes sense.
Right.
It makes. I mean, it's either none or some, and if it's some, I don't want any.
Well,
but it's what we're.
that's the problem that I have with the acceptable levels. Acceptable levels is all based on what you call LD50, lethal dose 50. So that means literally that they use that concentration to see how many rats out of 100 rats. If 51 rats die, then that is the LD50. So the question is, do you want to base your exposure based on how many rats die? I know everyone has different, humans have different DNA than others, but I don't want to base my acceptable level based on 49 versus 51 rats dying.
Oh man. Now, for someone getting into this field, you hold a lot of certification.
Yes.
I think among the few in Georgia and even the United States. Roughly, how much certification does someone need to get into a field like this? I mean, you've been in it for over 20 years.
Yes. Yes. Matter of fact, May will be 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Some people would call it a job. I call it a passion. And as long as you have a passion, you never have a job. I'm one of the few that I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. I love getting up in the morning. I love getting that call and rolling out to a project. I don't know the people that I'm going to meet. I don't know the situation that I'm going to come into. And basically, I'm having to use all the tools that I've accumulated over the years to, one, give a reasonable and logical rationale as to what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and what the expected result is going to be. And that's why I like being in the field, because if you're in the office, you kind of lose your edge. In this particular field,
without realizing it, kind of get detached.
Exactly, because you have that cookie cutter mentality, to where you think all things are the same, and the projects in the environmental field, you can go to the same site every day, things change. If I'm doing a soil investigation, yeah, everything could be good while we're drilling from ground surface to 8 feet down. Well, tomorrow we might contact different chemicals of different of higher concentrations, to wherein Monday wasn't a problem. Tuesday we got problem. Houston, we got a problem.
So it sounds like you deal with mainly commercial, or do you do commercial, government, residential? What part of you? Where are you on the spectrum?
Well, the answer would be D, all of the above.
All of the above.
Yes, all of the above. When I get a call from a client, I don't know whether they're residential. I don't know whether they are a individual that's representing a company. I don't know whether they're an individual representing a governmental enterprise, and within that governmental enterprise, I don't know whether it's local, state, or federal. Once I pick up the phone.
Now, do you just do local as far as Georgia, or you go everywhere?
I go
throughout the United States.
I go everywhere.
I know.
When
I
pick
call
up,
you, you're traveling.
Oh
so.
yeah, when I pick up the phone, I have a few clients that they basically, ask me the question. They says, "Mr. Hardee, where are you?" Okay. Now I know. I mean, I was in the military, and I used to, have to pack a mobility bag for in the event that, something happens on behalf, against the United States, and I have to respond. Pretty much the same thing.
Gotcha.
Pretty much the same thing.
Gotcha.
I keep a 2-day bag packed and at the ready, because I know that more oftentimes than not, when I get a call and I give all of my clients that that want me to work in multiple states, I give them that code word. They say, "Where you at?" And depending on where I'm at, then we do the quick coordination of, okay, where am I, how fast I can get to them, and I'm briefed on the situation as I'm matriculating
Okay.
and getting to them.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and light up real quick.
Yes.
Because I got a few more questions for you, but
Okay.
let's go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
To coming up to 30 years in April.
Thank you. Thank you.
You said April, right?
May.
May?
Yep.
Congrats.
Salute. Outstanding. Outstanding.
This is what it's all about.
Yes. At the end of the day, this is what I like to do.
Now, let's piggyback off that.
Okay.
You travel a lot. When you get back into town, hobby, how do you unwind? I know you do you have a real eclectic taste when it comes to music.
Well, depends on the day. I like to go out, and I like to go to jazz venues, see local artists.
So Chastain Park and
Chastain Park, little areas, little jazz spots that have live music. Also, when it becomes a little stressful, go out and play golf with the guys. We'll go out and have a cigar while we're playing golf, and I also use that opportunity depending on the client.
let me guess, network.
Of course.
Always.
The perfect venue to do that.
I keep saying that I need to start playing golf because pretty much everybody I know, especially in this business,
Yes,
that's where a lot of the either deals are closed or negotiated.
absolutely. Marketing 101. Basically, if I like you, I'll buy it from you. So it's hard not to like someone when when you're on the golf course, smoking a nice cigar.
Do they like you because they get to beat you, or I mean that's a fine line. Do you go ahead now and whip your potential client's ass?
No. See,
Or you let them win.
You have to.
And remember, they might be watching this, so
Well, I put up a good fight. But and I've always been told, in losing, you're winning. So, that all depends. So
basically, he's not saying whether he let him win or not.
No.
You know what? I'm not gonna push it. I'm gonna leave it right there.
No.
I'm gonna leave it right there.
No, I put up a good fight, but sometimes, the putt just doesn't go my way. I've been making them putts all day. All of a sudden, we're tied, coming into 18. I can't believe I missed that full foot putt. I usually make those, but
I guess it's not my day today.
it's just not my day. It's not my day. So he feels good. I feel good, and we're signing contracts. And I bring a staff bag, and they wonder why I bring such a big bag because usually I have the contracts rolled up in there. So when they say, you know what, if you had that contract, I would sign it today.
Well, what do you know?
What do you know? Wow, that was the last thing I packed, just in case,
All right.
Like a Boy Scout, always prepared.
Oh, be prepared. Now, who comes into town as far as an artist that makes you go, I'm getting tickets? And, would it be, I know you say you've been to the Fox, we were talking a couple of days ago, you said
Right.
Fox and some other places around town. Who are some of the people you like to see as far as your taste? Because now you got all these new music coming out, but
Right.
we're, us old folks, we love the good guys, the good gals from back in the day.
Right. I mean, as far as instrumentalists, because coming up from middle school through college. As a matter of fact, while I was in the military, I played instruments, all brass, trombone, trumpet, flugelhorn, of which I still play today. And that's an interesting factoid that not many people know about me. I listen to all genres. I would come up on a job site, and they would think that I'm playing rap, which I like some rap, R&B, jazz, but they wonder. They said, "Wow, this guy's got classical music coming out of his truck." I said, "Yeah." I said, because it's scientifically proven that classical music causes you a heightened sense of awareness. And when I come up on a job site, I don't know what's going on. So, hey, I put in some Tchaikovsky, I put in some Brahms, and that settles my mind to get me ready for what the unknown is going to be once I arrive on site. So it's pretty surprising and laughable to me that it says, what are you playing? It's like, okay, do you not know Tchaikovsky? Everybody knows Tchaikovsky. It's like, wow.
So what is that? A type of glue?
Exactly. And then I'd end up with some, and then when the job's over, I put in some, maybe depending on the situation, I put in, in my mood, I put in some jazz, say, okay, mission accomplished, or some R&B to say, hey, this is to be continued, or some DMX to say, okay, we got a problem here, but we're gonna work this thing out.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Right, up in here, exactly.
So it's the end of the week. You're back.
Yes.
You might have gone and seen a concert on Friday or Saturday. See someone in. It's Sunday or Saturday, late Saturday night. Like, I don't want to go on the road. I'm just gonna chill. What do you drink? What do you smoke? That's more important to me. What do you smoke?
That's the easiest question that you've posed to me today. When I'm in my relaxed mode, there is nothing. Pound for pound, because of the flavor, because of the complexity, because of the draw. There's nothing like sitting down and getting a full-bodied Davidoff. Nothing like it. That's when I know that I'm in that I'm in official chill mode.
That's the reason why you chose this place. That's the reason why we're doing it here.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I kind of figured that.
Yeah.
So, here you go. This is from Cigar Conversations to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man. My man. My man. Yes. My man. Love it.
That's
Love
what
it.
it's all about. This is just to add to your collection.
Yes.
Go on and kick back, light up, and just remember this moment.
Absolutely. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, there's 453,000 words in Webster's dictionary. I got no words right now. I got nothing to give you. I got nothing to give you because this is
Well,
this is over
you
the top.
can always give me one of them, you know.
Take a number. I don't know how many in there, but
I'm done.
you are one outside.
I'm done.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sayan Johnson with Cigar Conversations. Mr. Nathaniel Hardee,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Until next time, have great cigar conversations.